Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Happy Monday to you all. Be Sad Dog, Karen, Lael, Drew, Mitosh, Patrick. Welcome everybody. Thank you guys for joining me today. Well, let's start with a little bit of housekeeping. Our inventory is full of crap. Let's clean that up some. There's so many things that technically I need to hang on to. My inventory is full of things that I need to hang on to. And I'm pretty close to dumping it all into my bank. And then kind of forgetting about it so that I can have a clean inventory for a little while. All of these idols. So much stuff. Some of it is stuff that I don't even know what I'm supposed to do with it. But I'm hanging on to it anyway. Martin, good morning and afternoon to you. Wayne, welcome to the stream. And then I also have these tier 2 pieces that we bought off the vendor at the end of the last stream, and I found out we have to turn these in. There's a vendor in Blackwing Lair, and that's where I have to get to have a belt, bracers, and gloves for tier 2, which would be really cool, except I'm not 100% on where the Blackwing Lair entrance is because I've never done Blackwing Lair. So I actually don't know where to go. I think it might be somewhere in Blackrock Mountain. It might be somewhere within the same mountain complex. And I also was given an amazing axe near the end of last time that I have to skill up a little bit today. We're not too bad. We have 264 out of 300 axe skill. So I think we'll head out to the Blackrock area, and we'll probably have to spend some time skilling up this axe. Searing Gorge, Mitosh, okay, yeah. If you want to help me find it, I would appreciate it. Man, is it going to be faster just to fly? Probably. Thorium point. It's like, I wish we can get a straight shot. If we can get a straight shot, it'd be like 1 minute. Alright. Let's just do that. A 4-minute flight isn't a terrible way to start things off. Jay, good evening to you, buddy. Welcome to the stream. I'm still kind of conflicted about whether or not I want to investigate epic riding skill or whether I just want to hold on to my 700 gold. This is a ton of gold. I've never really had this much gold, so part of me just wants to hang on to it. I know there's going to be incoming alts. There's a Warlock alt incoming for sure that we're going to have to fund their journey with bags and gear and stuff. So maybe I just want to hang on to all of my gold. And just be a slow person forever. I'm okay being a slow person. You think, yeah, they're still around 800 to 1,000, then I'm definitely not spending the gold on it. Maybe when I have like 11,000 gold. If I ever have like 11,000 gold, then I'll go grab it. But I'm not going to really bother with it right now. I'm not going to bother with it. Just going to save up the money. John, happy Monday, man. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here today. Yeah, for only 40% faster, it feels so expensive. If it's like 800 to 1,000 gold still, it's always struck me as very expensive. Like I said, I get it when you've been at Endgame for a long time, like looking at how quickly I'm accumulating money. And I'm being really casual about selling stuff. I'm not farming high value items. So I can see that if you were to spend a lot of time at Endgame, you're going to have a ton of gold. And maybe in that scenario, it's worth it for you just to dump your gold into the epic mount. But for someone who's a fresh 60 and it's your first in only 60 at the moment, I think it's more worth it just to hold on to the money until you have a bunch of money, because you're going to want to play alts and stuff, you know? It's just how WoW is. The mount is the expensive part. So if you can win a mount, if you can win an epic mount out of a raid, then it's definitely worth it to go buy the training. But yeah, I guess if you have to buy the mount, not good. All the more reason to be a warlock or a paladin. Just get everything for free. Why not? We've got to get our pally to cap. Maybe before I start in alt, maybe we'll cap out our paladin. Paladin's sitting back at like level 53, I think she is. And it would probably only take us a couple days to get her to 60. Maybe I should do that. Before I fire up the warlock. I've created the warlock already. She's sitting there. So someday. Kashik, I'm doing well. Thanks for being here today. I appreciate it. Yeah, I should probably be consistent and finish off the paladin. I don't really know what I want to do on the Paladin though, because the tanking build it's more fun to push the buttons when you're kind of in a tank build. But I don't want to tank. I really don't have any desire to tank, I don't think. Because I don't want to learn all the routes, and I just don't want to. So that's where I'm kind of at with the Paladin. Like, I could just do ret, but honestly the ret rotation is kind of boring compared to the prot rotation. And I'm not even convinced that ret does more damage than prot. I feel like prot does more damage. The warlock is going to be the next... Well, it's going to be a human warlock, firstly. It's going to be the next character that we level up in SOD from level 1. It's obviously going to be a human warlock. A Gamer 28, welcome to the stream. Good morning to you, buddy. We have to swing at some stuff on the way. I'm gonna swing at a few things. Because we have to level up this axe today. If we're gonna do any actual content today, we have to get the axe closer to 300. I don't know if the stuff here is gonna be hard enough to actually get us skill ups though. We might have to go into the Plague Lands and whack some stuff. Because this is not doing anything for us. 265 out of 300. Do I have my axe rune on? Absolutely not. Thank you. Let's see. Axes. There we go. That'll help out a little bit for sure. Yeah, we're gonna have to find somewhere with more challenging mobs to do this. We're gonna have to fly to Light's Hope eventually, or Chillwind Post. Fight some level 50s, some higher level mobs. I mean, we can. This can happen, but it's gonna be slow. With the specialization, we're up to 272 with the rune equip, so that's actually not bad. That is not bad. I still wouldn't want to do anything like super challenging, like as far as group content with that, but doing too much damage is a nice problem to have. Yeah, certainly. Seeing a bunch of 2,000 crits, you can't complain too hard. Talon, good morning to you. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, probably. We can do Strathorn or Scholomance and it wouldn't really matter. No, it's definitely not going to affect a group, you know. I could probably do any group content besides Karazhan Crypts. And as long as I'm not doing Karazhan Crypts, then it's really not going to matter. So far, that's been the only dungeon that's been the only content that we've done at Endgame where I've had to contribute in the group. Where me contributing or not contributing was going to play a factor in whether or not we were going to kill the bosses. It's been the only piece of content like that. And, I mean, obviously we've been doing older content. We've been doing things like Molten Core and ZG, and we did Encourage. Place my hand on the orb. Okay. And so, obviously, we haven't been doing, like, the challenging content that we're not quite ready for, but, yeah. Realistically, I could have no weapon skill, and it probably wouldn't matter to most groups. And leveling it up in harder content would probably be faster anyway. Okay, I was going to say, we may or may not be connecting or disconnecting. Alright, what do we got here? Let's see. What do you have for sale? Okay, yeah, let's cut right to the chase. Also, amazing mustache. That's actually impressive. The most impressive part is how it looks like it's pasted onto his face. That's the most impressive part. Okay, so we have belt, we have bracers, we have gloves. We need to be looking for melee stuff. Which means we'll need to look down. Like down here we see a 2-set bonus. Your aimed shot, that's a red flag. We don't want to read the words aimed shot. Okay, let's look down. Well, that says draconic. I don't know why it says draconic or what that means. I'm not clear on all this. So I'm gonna click this and we'll see if we can grab it. Although I'm not sure if it's... I'm not sure that this is much better than what we have. Okay. Oh my god, it worked. Oh my god, it worked. There's the belt. And the gloves. There we go. Alright. Let's get these equipped. I mean, if I take a look at all my gear, it's pretty good. The neck piece needs to go. The shoulders need to go. Okay, it's not pretty good. Some of it is good. So the set piece we got here increases the damage done by Your next other melee ability excluding wing clip within 5 seconds by 20%. Okay. Kind of a strange way to word it. So Raptor Strike will increase the damage done by the next ability that's not Raptor Strike, I guess. Is what, and not wing clip. Within 5 seconds. So if we hit this, then we hit Mongoose Bite, the Mongoose Bite will deal an additional 20%. That's really good. Okay, let's get this stuff runed up. What is the 4 set here? The 4 set, increase the damage dealt by your main hand weapon with Raptor Strike and Wyvern Strike by 20%. Yeah, that's huge. Periodic damage has a chance to reset the cooldown on one of your strike abilities. See, I don't need that. I don't need the 6-piece. So the only periodic damage that I do is sometimes I'll drop a fire trap, and I'm not even sure if that counts. So I don't think I need the 6-piece. Do melee specialist on the belt. Mitosh, thank you for joining up in the raid and getting me in here to get this stuff and leading the way. I appreciate the help. Cobra Slayer on our gloves. There we go. Alright, I'm just gonna hearth back to Stormwind because, you know what, I'm not gonna hearth back to Stormwind because of what I'd like to do. I'd like to get to the Plague Lands, and I don't think Stormwind is gonna be my best bet. Yeah, I'd love to do some stuff. I just think I have to skill up the axe a little bit. Maybe we can do like a Skolo Strath turnaround. And just farm up some coins. Maybe that would be fun. And now I have to find my way out of here. I guess getting out of here is going to be pretty simple. Yeah, there we go. ZG and the Ruins of Ankh-Kharaz have reset now. Yeah, I mean, I'd be down for anything, honestly. That's kind of how I am. It's the beginning of the day, so it's early. We have lots of time. If I was gonna do ZG, I would probably want to get my weapon skilled up first. Just skill up the axe in ZG. Ah, yes. That's the way, I think. I think that's the way. It's obviously that's the example that I want to set to. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't really care. I'll do whatever. I'm going to continue on this course until something else presents itself. So if we want to run Skolo and Strat, we can do that. If we want to do a raid, we can do that. I don't really mind. I guess that is kind of the thing, like, okay, so like once you get to endgame, like what would I do by default? Left to my own devices, I would probably just farm 5 mans for coins forever. Like, just left completely to my own devices. Let's say I was a solo player and I didn't stream, and obviously, just like now, I would have no friends in this scenario. And I guess in that scenario, I would just farm coins from 5 mans until I got sick of doing that, or until I had all the gear that I can get with coins. And then maybe I'd start looking. After I did that, I would then probably feel confident to start jumping into pug raids, even though I would probably be way over geared for pug raids by then. I think that's what I would do left to my own devices. So I'd probably waste a lot of time farming up coins that I didn't necessarily need to do content that was then technically too easy for me and was dropping gear that I didn't really need. Yeah, that's probably what I would do if I hit endgame in a vacuum. Yeah, and then maybe the aim would be to do Karazhan. That's if I had known, because keep in mind, like, I didn't know that Karazhan Crypts was basically a 5-man raid. If I had known that, then yes, I guess as a solo player, my ultimate goal, or my penultimate goal, would have been, like, Karazhan Crypts clear. Farm Karazhan Crypts every single day of my life until I can crush it. Then after that, pug raid Molten Core and realize that I don't need to be doing those raids. Alright, I'm gonna jump on a flight. Oh, Jesus. Let's just go to Chillwind because that'll get us on the ground faster and I can start fighting stuff. I mean, I'm definitely ready to DPS that now. I feel like when we went in there the other day, I probably didn't have the gear that I needed. Mainly, I think what I needed was a better weapon because I just wasn't putting out enough damage. But I'm definitely ready for that now. I could probably do that, no problem. Is that on a daily lockout? I mean, it's a really involved dungeon, that's the only thing. I can see how some people would not want to do that every day or whatever the cooldown is on it. Because it's pretty involved. Not for me. I just follow along and hit stuff, but for the person who is leading the run, it seems pretty involved. It's a daily lockout. Yeah. Yeah, we need to do Blackwing Lair, Nax, and Scarlet Enclave. In that order, I'm assuming that's the order of operations. I'm not in like a big rush, but man, like once I see all the raids, I mean, that seems like a good time to start a level 1 alt. If ever there was a time. I think between now and then we'll probably get the Pally capped out too. Yeah, I'd be down for Cares on Crypts, but it's a lot to ask. I think if I was pugging it every day with strangers, I would do it, but it's a lot to ask someone to tank it like back to back because it seems like a lot of effort and very involved. The Scarlet Enclave is also very hard. You guys are 4 out of 8. That's pretty good, though. 4 out of 8's good progress. By the time I get to do Scarlet Enclave, you know, like, it won't be that same difficulty anymore. Because everyone I'm doing it with will probably have much more gear than me. I guess that's kind of what you miss by... If you want to raid and you're not kind of on the cutting edge of raiding... Sometimes you miss out on when the raid is like super challenging and a lot of fun to do. Like, it's been nice to see Molten Core and to see ZG and to see Encourage, but my role in those runs was obviously completely insignificant. And so it's an entirely different feeling to do a raid when it's progression for you and everyone that you're with, and you actually have to try like really hard for every bit of DPS that you can get on a boss. Totally different feeling. So it'll probably be a while, I guess, before I get to have that feeling in like a new progression raid. It's nice that Cares and Crypts is so hard because that's kind of like... That's been like the funnest content so far. Justin, welcome to the stream. Jake, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome. Did I see Turtle while releasing the 40-man Kara raid? That sounds cool. I'm not a 40-man raid guy. Yeah, it's cool that they're putting out new content. I'm looking forward to when they do their Unreal Engine update patch. Whenever they do Turtle WoW 2.0, we'll go back and we'll check it out. But I'm not a 40-man raider though. I don't like 40-man raids. I avoid 40-man raids. They don't really even... The whole idea has never sounded super fun to me. It's like a 40-man raid could be 40 people, 28 of you are standing, the rest of you are dead on the ground in the first 15 seconds of the fight, and it's okay, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it just seems like a mess to me, but it's cool. I know people like that kind of thing. My buddy really loved 40-man raids back in vanilla, and I would watch him do those sometimes, and I just never really got the appeal of that many people in a raid. I like smaller player groups and more difficulty, more precision difficulty. Like a 5-man mega dungeon or a 10-man raid, that's my ideal group size. 20-man stuff is okay, but 20-man stuff feels the same way, where like a few people can perform really, really well, and it allows a handful of people to not perform adequately at all, and the run still gets cleared, and I don't really care for stuff like that. I prefer content where everyone has to perform near the same level, and they have to perform well. And so for me, that's always been found in smaller group sizes. Yeah, the update for Unreal Engine 5 is supposed to come sometime in 2025. I always assumed that meant December 2025, you know? To give them as much time as possible to work on it, but, you know, to get it out within their commitment time frame. So yeah. Do we ever play hardcore? I have like thousands of hours of hardcore playthroughs on the channel. Yeah. We have a hardcore warlock who's still ongoing right now, but I haven't touched him in a few weeks because we've been playing a lot of SOD. But yeah, I have thousands of hours of hardcore on the channel. I say thousands. It's probably close to thousands. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably like at least 800 or 900 hours. Don't forget to equip the trinkets. Okay, yes. The problem is, I have 2 really good trinkets now. And now the problem is, it's really impactful to give one of these up. 28 attack power, or I lose attack speed and crit. I don't know. I don't know. That's really crappy. I don't... Do I need this stuff? Like, I have not turned in a single rep. I have not turned in a single rep token. I have not gotten any... What do I need rep with them for? Is it an item? Do I get upgrades out of it? Because if I don't get upgrades, I don't really care.
Can I help you?
Because yeah, I need to know at this point what I'm getting out of it. Because I don't get enough of these to ever turn them in. Here we go. I can turn in some of these.
Be careful. Farewell. See you around. Have a good one. Be careful. Safe travels. Have a good one. Hello. Farewell. Safe travels. What can I do for you? See you around. Be careful. Need help?
I need to get me the new Nax buff. You hand in the new currency for it. Rather than a trinket, it's a consume item that allows you to take the rep instead. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
See you around. Farewell.
But I like, again, I don't need the rep unless there's a reason for me to have it. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, if I can get a cool upgrade, then I'll grind the rep, but if not, I'm probably not gonna worry about it. Like, what did that get me? Let's see, Argent Dawn. I mean, I'm honored already with them, so like, what am I aiming for and why? Martin, will you see any new Mythic Plus content with the retail changes to M+? I don't know anything about the changes to retail. I haven't been keeping up on retail news. M+ was perfect and the most fun in Season 3 of Dragonflight. And if they wanted to make it fun again, they would revert the scaling and the numbers and all that stuff back to how it was in Season 3 of Dragonflight. And I don't know when I'll play retail again. I always say I'll play retail again when I can do the things that are fun to the exclusion of things that are not fun. So when I can get on and I can run Mythic Plus and I can do delves and I don't have to do other content to be optimal, when I don't have to go do a weekly quest or a daily quest or a world event or world questing, when I don't have to do that stuff and I can still get the most out of delves and get the most out of Mythic Plus, then I will play some retail. Because I do have a ton of fun in Mythics, and I was starting to really enjoy delves, but the way they force me to do boring content that I don't like to get currencies and things for the content I want, I don't want to engage with that. So, we'll see. I would love for them to make retail endgame fun again before housing comes out, because I would love to check out the housing. But I really only want to do that in an environment where I'm enjoying endgame activities like Delves and Mythic Plus. Maybe the occasional mega dungeon. I'm gonna keep my good trinkets because my good trinkets are good, and I just want to keep my good trinkets on. Yeah, I feel like the reps. No one can tell me what a single awesome thing that I want from this rep, which means I probably don't care that much. If there was a good trinket on the table, or a good weapon, or gear rewards, then I would certainly grind the rep. But if that's not on the table, then I don't know. Apparently, I don't have the key for Scholomance. Let me in! Let me in! Can't get in. Enchants? I don't care about enchants. I should, I just don't. I know, I'm a bad person. I am a bad person. I have honored. Do I need more than honored? Seems silly to need more than honored. Oh, here we go. I got all these things to pop. I can pop these Valor tokens. Knock on the door. I tried. Nobody answered. There we go. That had to get me somewhere, right? It didn't get me anywhere. It didn't move it. What good was that? I feel like honored is as good as it gets. I feel like, and do I not even have the trinket anymore? Did I vendor my Argent trinket anyway? Because I don't see it. Yeah, I don't even see the trinket. That's even better. I don't have it. I misplaced it. Maybe semi-intentionally. Maybe subconsciously I threw it on the ground. It's under my bananas. It's always under the bananas. Oh yeah, damn it. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna wear it though. Oh no! Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna wear it. I'm not convinced I need it, and this actually hurts me to lose the attack power. Actually hurts me. And I blame chat. I blame chat for that pain. I don't need it. I'm taking it off. There we go. Problem solved. In fact, there we go. Problem solved. Now I don't have it. Now I don't have to worry about it. That feels like a load off my shoulders. The shoulder enchant for Argent Dawn is +5 resist. Does that even make a difference? Not in SOD it doesn't. Maybe you could argue that in Vanilla Era, possibly that could have made some small difference. But no, I don't even think it would have made a difference in Vanilla Era. But it definitely isn't going to make a difference with the content that I am doing in SOD. That's never going to affect me in any way, shape, or form. We're getting lots of quests. Lots of quests. Let's see. I mean, a little bit of gold doesn't hurt, I suppose. All right. Everybody is present and accounted for. Yes, we did get a new axe, and the numbers will probably go up. Right now, we're not maxed out on axe skill. Our axe skill is like 278 out of 300, so we're probably not hitting 100%, so the damage should get better. I'm pretty sure melee hunters are just not as good now as they were back in phase 7 also. They seem to have been hit with a substantial nerf bat. So we'll see how that shakes out over time. Emily, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. That is incredibly generous of you. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here with the stream. We got an epic shield with 10 stamina, 42 block, and increased block value by 32. Someone told me in a YouTube comment I should take Cleave just for the endorphins of seeing the numbers pop in AoE packs. And they might not be wrong. They said they would give up a little bit of DPS to get the endorphins of seeing the numbers pop. I'm like, yeah. Sometimes it sucks to get into these big packs, and I don't really get to do a lot. It does often feel like we are essentially useless unless we're targeting a boss. Like, we do really good single target damage, and I always feel good on bosses. But in packs like this, like, what can I really do? Struggle to single target any of them before they die, basically. Yeah, I think the next class I play, we have to find, like, what's the big AoE class, and I have to see the other side of the DPS coin for the next one. So whether that's a Warlock or a Balanced Druid, I'm going to do some research and just see, like, what is the other side of the coin? What is the class that excels at AoE but is a little bit weaker on single target? So much of the damage in all of these runs is AoE damage. Maybe. No, I mean, overall the priest would still be out DPSing me. On some pulls, I do out DPS the priest. On some pulls, I out DPS him, but I think overall he would be out DPSing me just because he has Mind Steer. So whenever we pull a bunch of things, he can Mind Steer and he hits everything. Other than that, like on single target, we'll see how we do compared to him. But yes, I do look especially bad compared to your numbers. That's true. That could be, that's part of it, I think, but it always feels bad not to have a button that can help out in AoE though. I remember feeling this way on the Rogue a lot of times in vanilla. It's like you'd play a Rogue in vanilla, it's a lot of fun, you get into dungeons, it's a lot of fun, you get into AoE packs, and then you realize you don't really have a way to help. Which is always kind of a bummer. This place is very fond of dropping shields. And I have I been looting bosses? Questionable. It's questionable how many tokens I may have already left on the ground at this point. I've been looting some things. I need it to be like retail, and afterwards I need it to mail me all the stuff that I left on the ground, you know? I feel like that's a cool quality of life feature. If I leave currency on the enemies, just mail it to me afterwards. Have I been doing good so far? I've just kind of been babbling and I've been on autopilot essentially. So I'm surprised. Surprised I haven't forgotten to loot yet. Patrick with the $20 super. Thank you very much, man. That's very kind of you. Super generous and a ton of support. I need help with the coffee and now the sushi. The sushi's become an expensive, an expensive daily item to keep me alive. Coffee and sushi. Thank you, though. Much appreciated. See, like, these packs right here, I would love to toss down, like, a Rain of Fire. Or, like, a Starfall, or a Blizzard, or anything. All I get to do is I get to drop my little explosive trap. And it does like 12 damage to everybody. Mage is not doing very well in Season of Discovery right now, though. And none of the mage specs are anywhere near the top. And I don't think they have been for a little while. I feel like mage DPS is kind of a little bit neglected, perhaps, in Season of Discovery. I feel like it's maybe a little bit neglected. They have a melee hunter build in Turtle WoW also. We'll definitely try it. We'll definitely try it. See how it compares. We don't need... I gotta remind myself we don't need any of this stuff. I don't have to really look at the loot. I just have to loot the loot. So that I get coins. There's my coins. See, I almost left them right on the ground. Is the Argent Dawn rep for people that hate schools and undead? Yes, and schools of undead. Yes to all those things, and any combination thereof. Yeah, I think they hate schools because the assumption in World of Warcraft is that any higher education eventually leads to the studying of how to prolong human life and how to make a human immortal. And then trying to study how to make a human immortal invariably leads one to study necromancy. And so therefore, like, basically all educational institutions are bound to go down the road to studying necromancy eventually. Because that's just where all study leads. It leads to the search for immortality, which eventually leads one into necromancy. We have so many schools in the real world. I'm surprised we don't have necromancy yet. It's kind of crazy. Someone should get on that. You thought that was the point of AI, oh, to make us immortal. Maybe we went down the AI tree instead of the necromancy tree. Yeah, we must have spent our talent points in the AI tree in real life. I think the necromancy tree could have been more interesting. Maybe we'll do that on our next run. The people in Silicon Valley claim to be working on Eternal Life, so maybe Necromancy's coming. Yeah, they would be working on it because they're probably the only people that have the money to last them through Eternal Life. Like, they want to be around to spend that cash. Am I excited for the Oblivion remake? I wasn't aware of an Oblivion remake, but I've never been a big Elder Scrolls person. I never got into Elder Scrolls back in the day. I played a bit of Skyrim and that was fun. I've obviously played Elder Scrolls Online a bit and that's enjoyable, but I think when people were playing Elder Scrolls, I was playing like Final Fantasy VI or something. Like I was playing different games in different places when people were playing Elder Scrolls games back in the day. I'm gonna die down here. These are the unstable guys. These are the guys that I can't be around them. I'm just gonna stand in the pack of these as they explode on my face. This is another example of when we are essentially useless to the group. If I go up there, I'm just gonna get annihilated. We got a boss back here though, some kind of boss. Maybe I could hit him a couple times. Okay, well he's dead. He's dead, I looted him, we got some coins, so we are good. I didn't realize in that mess there was a boss. It's crazy. A frost trap there is good. You're absolutely right. This is a freezing trap. That's not what we're talking about. I need the other thing. Yeah, I'm a bad hunter, so I don't do a lot of good hunter things. That is a fact. Am I keeping up with the trash packs for DPS now? No, I'm not. I'm never going to keep up with the trash packs because I don't have any AoE. I'm probably only ever going to look at my DPS on single targets. because without any AoE buttons, it's hard to keep up on the overall damage meters when you can't AoE anything. Like we did suboptimal there too, so. So far our performance has been suboptimal, but that's okay. I'm still a relatively fresh 60 with no idea how to play the game, you know. Sometimes I'm surprised I've made it as far as I have. I read it as trash. No, I totally misinterpreted it. No, the answer to both is no. No, obviously not. No, and part of that is because of the AoE that we just talked about. Prop Pallies obviously crank out a ton of AoE damage. So I don't think I would ever keep up with a Prop Pally in AoE packs. So kind of the same conversation. Everything I said when I misinterpreted your question was completely valid still for the current conversation. That worked out. See, on single target, we can crank. Like, we do pretty well. I'm really pleased with that. We had one target, there was no one to cleave, there was no one to AoE, and we beat everybody. Like, by a fair bit. And so I think that's what the... Oh my god, why am I a goblin? Why am I a goblin, and why did it take so long for me to realize I was a goblin? I'm completely distracted now. I don't know what's happening. This game has goblins. Apparently. I am now a goblin melee hunter. Oh boy, this was some kind of item or something somebody used on me? I don't know what's happening. I don't know how to get rid of it. The gift of Gob. I guess that's probably it. Oh man, the mage beat us somehow. Oh, the mage is a frost mage. Oh. Okay. Now I feel more embarrassed. We got beat by a frost mage. Yeah, frost mage single target's really good. It seems like it must be. From what I saw, all the mage specs were kind of meh, though. None of them seem to be doing outstanding. And I don't know how often are they going to rebalance classes. If Phase 8 was the last big content drop for a while, like how often are they going to go back and adjust classes and stuff like that? Or are they gonna lock into the current meta, and then we just play to the current meta? See, that's the kind of stuff I'm curious about. With Phase 8 being like the last of the planned content, I'm really curious about if we're going to be locked into the current meta or if stuff is going to change over time still. Because if we're locked into the current meta, you're gonna see more and more people just playing to that, and you're gonna see less and less of like classes like mage and other stuff. Do I have kids? I have a son, yeah, he's 9 years old. Yep. He's gonna be 10 this summer. I don't work a job. I don't have a job, so I have plenty of time to do all the stuff I want to do. Yeah, my situation is very unique, and I'm super grateful. I have plenty of time to do stuff. Yep. That's my unique situation. I don't work what you would call a day job. That's it. That's the whole situation. I don't have to work what you call a day job. And so therefore I have 8 hours in my day where you might have to go to a place or do a specific thing, and I have that 8 hours and I can do whatever I want with it. That's the entire situation. Yep. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, that's what I think every day when I wake up. Like, damn, this is pretty amazing. You would have taken me for a teacher. That's a good thing to take me for, because before I did this, I was a corporate training developer. So yeah, I spent a lot of time in corporate America, writing training materials, making training curriculums, and then teaching classes. That was what I did before I started my YouTube channel. The YouTube channel has been around for 6 years now. I started it off as a variety channel that I was working on while I was still at my corporate job. Did that for a couple years. I lost my corporate job right before 2020. Back in 2019, I left corporate America and I never went back into corporate America. So yeah, and then eventually I was able to devote all of my time to this, or at least as much time as I would like to devote to it. So I'm really blessed. My early retirement. Yeah, like basically it wasn't really a retirement. It was more like dropping out of corporate society. It was much more like dropping out than it was retiring. When you retire, you typically have a bunch of money saved up, or you're actually cashing something out. Like, things happen differently when you're retiring. What I did was I was just sick of corporate America, and I decided not to go back. Which is different. Fancy bags. That's exactly what they are. They're fancy bags. 18 slot bags, and these are specific to SOD. I bought these on the auction house, obviously. I don't think these exist in regular classic era. I think these are a SOD thing. We can do either. We can do either. We can maybe do both. I don't know. It's up to you. I have until about 3:30 my time today. I can't really do math. Otherwise, I can tell you like what that would be server time. But yeah, I have until about 3:30 my time today. Are we doing Kara Crypts? Is that what we want to do? That'd be awesome. I would be much more interested in Kara Crypts if we want to do that. And we can see exactly if we can get onto the damage meters at all. That'd be cool. But for that, I might need to refill my coffee before we get into that. Because I am kind of low. I am low. Okay, so... I guess the fastest thing for me to do would be to hearth back to Stormwind and fly to Darkshire. Or I could just fly with everybody else. Should be much faster. Now, I'm gonna hearth and park myself in Duskwood for a minute. I've got a very close Hearthstone, so... I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna get some coffee. And drink a yogurt or something. Get some kind of energy going. Inventory, it looks like garbage. Like, let's be fair, it looks like garbage. I'll probably have to vendor some stuff. Alright, I'm gonna put us on this flight, and then I will be back shortly. Is this my job? Streaming? Streaming is not a job. It's just what I do with my time. It's what I do with my work time. When I think about productivity and what I do from a productive standpoint, it's hanging out with you guys, running the stream, it's working on recorded stuff, but it's definitely not a job. A job is a place where you go and you sell someone else your time. You say, this is my time, you tell me what to do, and you give me money, and I will do the things. That's what a job is, so that's not what this is. I will be right back. Alright, we're back. I see I got distracted and did not put myself in flight. That's a big, big win. I will be there eventually. Banterous Newt, that's awesome. That's really good. Good vibes to you. That's great. S. Oscar, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us for a bit. I appreciate it. Alright, I'm gonna vendor before I run off. I've made my row of things to vendor, so we'll just dump all these really quick. And then we will get going.
Hello.
Be really cool if they could put a flight point in there somewhere. Even if the flight point was up at the camp where the mage lady was at for the quest, that'd be cool. If maybe if you do that chain, that quest chain, maybe instead of it being an attunement, maybe it opens up a flight point for you. If they made it so that quest chain opened up a flight point, I would be much more likely to do it. And it would make me much happier than having to do an attunement. So yeah, having a flight point somewhere in here would be great. I don't know that this was necessarily any kind of shortcut. Or if it's even going to get me where I need to be. Okay, maybe. Okay, we should be able to cross over here. Yeah, we're good. Okay, perfect. No, I'm not even close to the right place. Not even close. Nice try, though. It was a door-looking object in the same area that I need to get to. Here we go. We have to go behind Karazhan. Perfect. There might be a trinket that boosts damage here against undead. The Argent Dawn trinket I had just allowed me to pick up Scourge Stones, and it didn't have any additional damage effects or anything like that. I don't know if perhaps there's a different Argent Dawn trinket that does have a bonus against undead, but if there is, we haven't had it. Leah, good afternoon. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. How's the priest leveling going? Did you end up going with the priest over the warlock? Right on. You've had retail responsibilities. Retail responsibilities. Yeah, I'm still having a great time. We are getting pretty geared out. We did AQ yesterday. We got to see AQ for the first time. It has been good. Trying to see as much as I can before I start another character. And I think I have to finish the Paladin off first before I can level something else. Ideally, we would see all the raids at least once. And then I would be okay if the Pally were capped, I'd be ready to start leveling a caster. Which will probably be a Warlock or a Priest at this point. We have to do Blackwing Lair, Nax, and the new raid. Those are the three we haven't done yet. BWL, Nax, and the new one. I don't think we're probably close to getting ready for Nax. We're probably close. We probably still need some more gear, to be honest. And I probably just have to be better at playing my class. At least a little bit better. Well, as long as they ask nicely. That's the important part. And that you had a good time. We did 20. Yeah, I don't think we did 40. It looked like a 20-man group. I mean, I can't count. But looking at the raid frames, it looked like an AQ 20. It was big enough that nothing we did personally really mattered. You know, it's not like we were really contributing in any way that was valuable. It was enough people to allow for that. AQ40 is underground with a giant eyeball. Yeah, we didn't fight the giant eyeball old god guy. That's true. We didn't pop any giant eyeballs. Yeah, the older raids are all basically face rolls. Exactly, exactly. So it's nice to see them. I'm happy to see them. But there's not a lot of reason to do them a ton of times. Unless I absolutely need the gear out of them. Because it's not like they're challenging content or... You know, it's not always as fun when you're just getting carried along, obviously, I guess is the point. So I probably won't do a bunch of the older ones. I want to get into, like, newer stuff as soon as I can that might be a little bit more challenging, so... As soon as we can, I want to do Nax. So we can start getting ready to see the new raid. That's why I like this so much, Karazhan Crypts. In Karazhan Crypts, I actually have to play my class. I actually have to contribute. And if I don't contribute in some way, bad things could happen. This is a really cool piece of content, and I really wish they would put some more development time into making 5-mans like this. This one has good atmosphere, it's very thematic, all of the pulls are pretty fun, it's challenging, the enemies have a lot of HP, so you have to chunk through them. It's perfect vanilla mega dungeon content. I like really hard 5-man stuff, so this is kind of right up my alley. And I guess the sad thing about SOD development being kind of over is that we might not see any more content like this. At least not for a while. Like maybe one day they come back and they do some raids or some 5-man. Like I don't know. That's kind of the bummer. It's like this is a lot of fun. I would love to see more dungeons like this, but we're not really likely to anytime soon. We have a dead person. Where did our dead person die? Oh god, where's their body? Did we lose their body in the dark? Is their body lost to the darkness? Yeah, I think we lost their body to the darkness. It's up in the air. Oh no. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's up in the air. Because real gamers never look up. Obviously. Yeah, you got Thanos snapped. That's what he said, yeah. He got put right into the air. It's so weird. We didn't even see him. Yeah. Real gamers don't look up. It was a brutal way to go. It's always brutal when somebody hits you so hard that you just die midair. Wait, did we lose them again? How did they die? What are they dying to? Are they? What are they dying to? I'm so confused. I don't see anything that could be killing them, but then again, like, maybe I'm not paying attention. Everybody else seems fine. Everybody else seems fine. It's funny to have a memory. The first time I got hit so hard by a mob that I died in the air. First time I got hit by a mob and the game seemed to glitch out, I died so fast. That's fun. What do we got here? A treasure chest. What happens if I open this? Because I'm opening it. Oh no! Oh god! Oh no! The chest is eating me. And I don't know if I'm ever going to get out. There are chests in here that eat you. If you didn't know. Yeah, it's a mimic chest. I hate mimics in all games. I've been playing Metaphor Rifantagio in my evening gaming time, and there are mimic chests in that. And like you'll walk into a room, and here's how you know: you walk into a room and there are 2 chests in a room. There are never 2 chests in a room, so you know that one of them is going to be a really good item and one of them is going to be a mimic. I hate them. So we were told that while we're in this dungeon, night elves have better night vision than the other races. And I hope that I can test this one day. Supposedly we see better in here than other people do who are like humans or dwarves or gnomes. That's why our eyes are glowy. So it must be even darker for everybody else than it is for us. I would love to try BG3 again sometime in the future. I think the part I have to do is I have to play it on a softer difficulty, which doesn't often make people happy, but I think for me to learn the battle system that I failed so momentously at learning the first time around, I have to play on something a little less challenging. Yeah, the battle system in that game operated on logic that I did not understand. As someone who's never really played D&D, basically I tried to play Baldur's Gate 3 like it was XCOM 2, and that did not work. I wish it did work because I love XCOM 2, but that was just not the way the game wanted me to approach combat. One day we'll have to go back and I'll actually have to read the abilities and see if I can figure out what they do. I thought 2025 would be the year for my Baldur's Gate 3 run, but I don't know. Now there's a lot of games to play, so I'm not so sure. And I have to make sure I'm in a headspace to be ready to absorb the story and like absorb all the characters, which means I can't be neck deep in like reading a book or anything like that. I have to have kind of a blank slate or an open canvas to allow the story to actually like grow inside my head. Because otherwise I just start skipping all the dialogue. I remember when I went to the camp and like all of my companions wanted to talk to me at camp and I felt really annoyed. That was when I knew I wasn't ready to play the game yet. When the concept of listening to their beautifully spoken, well-written dialogue actually annoyed me, I was like, okay, I need to like wait on this game until a time when I'm ready for the characters and the story and stuff. Because talking to your companions should not be something that annoys you. I know that I don't play a lot of single-player games, but I know that much. Yeah, I remember being really hyped for BG3 when it was about to come out. I thought that BG3 might become a thing that could be a staple on the channel, that we could do like multiple runs and stuff like that, but it just didn't pan out for many reasons. I tried Veilguard, I tried the Dragon Age game, I didn't like it. That seemed too far in like the other direction from from BG3. Like setting aside all the issues I kind of had with the characters and other stuff, like gameplay wise, it seemed pretty shallow. They went like to the other end of the extreme with that. I did play it for like an hour. I played it for almost 2 hours. I played it for long enough, but then I was still able to get my Steam refund, thankfully, because that game just didn't do it for me. The older Dragon Ages were much better. Like, even Inquisition was pretty good. Like, I liked Inquisition. Inquisition, they started to kind of dumb down the RPG elements of the combat and of the, like, your companion battle aspects. Like, there wasn't a lot you had to do with them in battle. Like, so they started to dumb it down. But it was still at a point when you could at least equip your companions with, like, a full set of gear and stuff. You still had to do a little bit of management with your companions and... But I didn't mind Inquisition. Yeah, I felt like Inquisition was just streamlined enough to be more accessible to more people. Whereas obviously, like, Origins was very rooted in those D&D style systems and D&D style stats and bonuses and stuff that, like, not everybody really enjoys and not everybody really has a head for. Like, I don't mind that kind of stuff, but I don't really have a head for that kind of stuff because I'm not a D&D or tabletop person. So Inquisition was a good balance for me, but I do feel like with Veilguard they went too far in that direction. They should have kept it exactly where it was at, but refined it. Instead, they continued the trend of kind of dumbing everything down. Yeah, it did feel very action gamey. You can't just call something an RPG because it has a story. Every game has stories. So yeah, calling it an RPG is probably not super accurate. What is this opera ticket? I'm rolling need on the opera ticket. I have no idea what it is. I've started to roll need on items sometimes when I just don't understand what they are or what they're for. Just so I can get them in my inventory and have a closer look at them. Yeah, he probably knows what it's for sure. I didn't even see if I won the thing or not. Yeah, we did win it. You may trade this item with... Okay, that doesn't really tell me what it is. None of the items really tell you what they are. Maybe it has to do with this event. We've got some encrypted text. A player with enchanting can read it. Oh, that's cool. Gloves of superior strength. Somebody must have had enchanting in the group. We need to use it to start the fight. Okay. On with the show. There we go. That's all it's for. It's a blue item. It would make more sense if it were a white item with like an exclamation point on it or something like that. And then you would know it's for like an event. It being a blue item, it reminded me of the card decks. I think I needed it on it last time too, and the same thing happened. I still had to come talk to the guy. Alright, so this will hopefully give us different bosses than what we saw last time. Yeah, this looks different. We got Grandma Finette, we have Greta, and we have Hans. Okay, well, Grandma's not a good grandma, because it turns out Grandma is a Dreadlord. Sorry, kids. Oh, the kids are probably Dreadlords too, aren't they? We have a skull over Greta, that's promising. Okay, this guy's going down immediately. Okay, we killed Grandma. It's probably not going to make the kids very happy. Yeah, they're PO'd. Looks like we're killing Greta first. Oh, well, this guy can't... Oh, wait. Oh, skull's over here. Let's target her, I guess. And we have been dazed. Temporarily dazed. It looks like we probably want to avoid the swirlies. I'm just gonna come over here and DPS this guy for a second, because, yeah, there we go. Now we'll go back onto Greta. I feel like maybe we had an enrage problem. Did we hit an enrage? Because I feel like we probably did. Yeah, we must have hit the enrage. Oh boy, that means it's a DPS problem, which means it's my problem. Unfortunately. My healer was put to sleep. Really? That was the only problem? Because I feel like we all got put to sleep so many times that the healer had to have been put to sleep prior to that. We were all getting hit with like a very short sleep or daze or something like that. It had gone off several times. Maybe it was just really bad timing. That was it, just the healer got sleeped at a bad time. Okay, it just felt like maybe they just started doing a lot more damage than they had been doing. I don't think we messed up any mechanics or anything, so... Healer had a long sleep. Oh, not okay. Well, that, I mean, I guess that explains it. I guess that's all there is to it. You get slapped at the wrong time. Poof, pop goes the group. Good to know. So the other priest could dispel it. Okay, and they must not have done that. Maybe they weren't looking for it. They probably hadn't had to deal with it yet, so they didn't react when the other priest got slept. Yeah, there we go. Could have dispelled the sleep. My bad, got stunned for 40 seconds. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we should be good. Let's see it again, and we should kill it this time for sure. We were really close. There we go. Pretty easy when nothing silly happens. Got some plate boots with strength and stamina on them. Yeah, Blizzard decided we would be too overpowered if we had a melee interrupt. So instead, I think we're the only melee spec that doesn't have an interrupt. I am mind controlled. Some more plates, this time with attack power. So this guy has a 6-minute enrage timer. Move out of the fire. Move out of effects. Okay, yep. Yeah, I put it in the title the first time I did it, and this time I got lazy and didn't change my stream title at all. Now this guy has a big hitbox, so like we don't have to get super close to him. feel like we have to be getting pretty close to the enrage. But he is about to die. There we go. Shadow Weaver's Needle, a dagger with stamina and intellect. Spell damage, healing damage, chance to hit. This is a fun fight. Yeah, all of the fights in here are a lot of fun, in my opinion. This is a really great piece of content. I really wish there was more content like this. Every version of WoW should have content like this. Just challenging player content for like a 5-player group. Not like you have to get into a 40-man raid or a 20-man raid. Just stuff you can do in a 5-man group that can award you pretty good gear and provides a challenge. And I feel like Mythics do that in retail if you're playing Mythics at a high enough level. But I also feel like it's harder to get into the Mythics scene in retail than it is to get into this in SOD. So there's that. We are losing some people. We are losing some people because they're not in the light. Maybe it's because they're not in the light. I'm not really sure why we're losing people. They finally got rid of timers this season in Mythics. You'd think that would ease a lot of the angst around Mythics. Because in my mind, most of the angst that you'd run into in Mythics is like when you didn't make that timer, it drastically cut into the reward. So obviously, like, you don't make the timer, it feels like you wasted your time, people get upset. So it felt like easing the anger in Mythics was always as simple as just getting rid of the timer. So it'd be nice if they finally did that. Well, yeah, pugs were always hit or miss. Like, were always and will always be hit or miss. I got into lots of good pugs, and I got into lots of pugs with crazy people in them. And, I mean, that's almost part of the fun of pugs, though. Is you never know what you're going to get. This has a lot of health. Yeah, that's a running theme of the bosses here, and a running theme of just all the mobs. Compared to mobs elsewhere, the mobs here have a lot of HP. The bosses and the trash, like, all have a lot of HP compared to other content we've done. I was running into a tree root that I could not even see. That's how dark it is. JSZZ, good afternoon, buddy. Welcome to the stream. The boss isn't evading, the little spiderlings are evading. Part of the mechanics are we have to set fire to these little areas, so we drag them by there, we set fire to them, and then it causes the little ones to kind of run away, they flee, so when they're fleeing they pop up some evade bugs. But it's not the boss that's evading. It is a pretty cool looking mace, for sure. It looks like it's an axe with a skull, like, thrust over top of the blade of the axe. What it doesn't look much, it looks more like an axe with a skull on it than it looks like a mace. And that's the funny part. It's very self-aware of you. I did have a good Easter. Thanks for asking. We don't do a lot for Easter, so it was just a chill day. with some candy. We did a little Easter egg hunt for the kid. And we practiced some soccer. Just a chill day with the family. It was nice. Oh my god, I'm out of mana. I basically never run out of mana, but we managed to do it. And thankfully we still have our trusty Viper stance to get our mana back. Yeah, we have to be pushing buttons for a long time to even notice that I have mana. In group content, I can often ignore my mana completely. I think other classes must be doing things to help us regenerate mana. Because in solo content, we run out pretty frequently, but when we're in groups, I basically never run out. Yeah, I wonder how other classes have to manage their mana, or if it's not really a thing unless you're a healer. I see Mitosh's mana goes down, but I think he has ways to regenerate it as a prop pally. I'm not sure if the healers have ways to get their mana back between pulls besides drinking. Yeah, I mean, difficulty is something that everybody approaches differently. You're never going to make everybody happy with a piece of content. Some people are always going to complain that it's too hard. Some people are always going to complain that it's too easy. The best thing you can do is to add difficulty levels into content. Kind of the way they did with Molten Core, where you can raise the heat value and you can make it harder and you can get more rewards. That's really the best thing you can do for gamers. Start with something on an easier difficulty and then have ways for a group to scale that difficulty up for better rewards. Because if you just have one difficulty, that's never going to make everybody happy. And I don't have any expectation for players to have any certain amount of knowledge. So I feel like you should be able to get into content and it should be accessible. But I also feel like there needs to be hard content. You have to have challenging content in your game. And you have to have reasons for players to want to do the challenging content too. How's soccer been going? He's still getting used to it. My son is a sea creature, so he's still learning how to interact on land. We've had him in swimming so long, and he's really good at swimming. And I think like soccer is going to be something we do in the springs. I don't know if he's going to have like a big soccer future. We'll see. He gets better every time we put the cleats on and we run around, but it's definitely taken him some getting used to. It's gonna work different muscles, and it's gonna have to use different parts of his brain for it, for sure. But it's going okay. We haven't had a real game yet. We have another practice this week, and then we'll have a game on Sunday. So we'll see how the game goes. And as long as he's having a good time and is enjoying himself, then that's great. That's really all it's for. Just some physical activity that he can enjoy. I mean, SOD is like that right now. When SOD's putting out new raids, a lot of it's stuff that people haven't seen before. And like the other thing about like, you know, wanting to do new content when it's still new and people don't have knowledge, like you basically these days have to be on the cutting edge to get that experience. If you want to see the new content when it's new and like you don't want there to be an assumption of knowledge, with WoW now you basically have a week. You have 1 week. The week a piece of new content comes out, there's no assumption of knowledge. As soon as that week passes, like basically everyone assumes that you're going to know what to do, where to go, what pieces of gear you need, if you're ready to do the run. Like you have to be on the cutting edge of content to ever get to that point where something comes out, it's brand new, it's new to you, it's new to everybody, we all go in together and we all figure it out together. That only happens in like week 1, possibly even day 1, depending on if you're the kind of person that will seek like guides on the internet. It could happen day 1, you know.
What can I do for you?
I do think that this is the platform where Blizzard will do Classic Plus. SOD is already Classic Plus for Blizzard. It's already Classic Plus. So when Classic Plus does exist, like this is it. We're looking at Classic Plus being built in progress. They would just want to keep adding to what they have here. I don't think they're ever going to reinvent the wheel and make a different thing and call that different thing Classic Plus. I don't think that Blizzard will ever make anything and call it Classic Plus. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that terminology and that idea just exists within the heads of players, and everyone has their own definition of what that's supposed to mean. But this is Classic Plus from Blizzard. And it is. There's new raids, new 5-mans, class changes, new specs, new quests. Like, it ticks all the boxes for Classic Plus. There haven't been any new zones yet, so when they get to a point where we're adding like new zones, new quest hubs, then we'll be fully into the Classic Plus territory. I could scroll down the game chat, you're absolutely right. Absolutely. I know this fight, so luckily I'm not missing anything important. Whether or not hitting 60 is hard for new players depends on if there's reasons for the current players to play older content. In SOD, with the currency system, even if you're super geared up from the current raids, you still are incentivized to go back and run the older stuff, so new level 60s don't get left behind. But I'm speaking specifically of that sense of seeing new content from the perspective of it being new content. Because I'm seeing new content too, I'm seeing content that's new to me, but it's not new to everybody else. So everybody else knows it, everybody else face rolls it, and I'm the one who's still learning it. If you want to be on the cutting edge and learning new content with everybody else, then you have to play constantly and make sure you're constantly clearing the new content as soon as it comes out. Otherwise, by the time you get to it, regardless of how hard it is, everyone's already going to know everything, and they're going to have an expectation of your knowledge. Yeah, true to its name, if you stand in that one, you die. Although there is a certain amount of DPS you can get off while it's casting, so like running away as soon as he begins casting it is not ideal, because you can get a couple of attacks off. But like I found out last time, you can't get too many attacks off. You got to be very careful about how long you stay in. But you do need to stay in for at least a second. Oh god, this is the worst. When he mind controls the tank, it's basically a wipe, because we can't hurt the tank. We can't. I feel like the tank should not be able to be mind controlled in this phase. And every time the tank gets mind controlled, it feels like a bug. Because we can't kill a tank. A tank has so much... Oh, yeah, that was bad. It's so bad. There's no way to deal any damage to him. Ugh. We survived, like somehow we didn't die yet, but... It's just a lot of time where there's no DPS on the boss, and what's going to happen is we're going to hit the enrage timer eventually. Oh man, they mind controlled Mitosh twice in the same fight. Oh, that is so very bad for us, guys. Like, this is a wipe-a-rooney, I think. Yeah, this is a wipe. Oh my god, that's so awful. What bad luck. Like, to have him mind controlled once and then to recover from it was great, but him being mind controlled twice, like, there was no way we were ever going to recover from that. Even if we had stayed alive, I think it just takes too much damage off the meters, and then you hit his enrage timer. I feel like, I feel like he shouldn't be able to mind control the person who has aggro. Oh. That's rough. If I stand here without the torch, I'm going to die. I'm going to grab the torch and hope that there's a way I can put the torch down when needed. Yeah, unfortunately I have the torch now. Or do I? No, I don't. I didn't grab it. I just activated it. Okay, I don't know how the torch mechanic works. I really don't want to die multiple times, so I'm gonna phase out really fast until we get that situated. I thought I was picking it up, but apparently what I did not pick it up. Whew. Yeah. Mitosh, you survived somehow. Mind control saved you, because you were mind controlled when the boss reset. Wow. That's inconvenient. So I guess we just go jump in the hole. That's fine. There we go. Now we are good. Okay, we're gonna get it this time. All that needs to happen is Mitosh can't get mind controlled twice. As long as anything else happens, we should be fine. We were doing the mechanics fine. And we lost somebody. Not really sure what happened that time. The first time a freeze block went out, things got really, really disorganized and everyone was kind of low on HP. Maybe we had to run too far to break the freeze. Not quite sure. One more time? I'm not really sure what happened there compared to the first time. The first time was much, much, much smoother than that. Alright, this time we kill him. And there we go. I don't know what the priest did that fight. But, I mean, Jesus H. What in the hell? I don't know what the priest was doing, but they went hard. They went really hard. We got some plates and we got some cloth. We don't need any of this stuff. Whew. That is a fun fight. See, that time the tank didn't get mind-controlled once. And obviously the fight goes much better like that. Was that the final boss? Yeah, I think so, unless we left anybody behind. Pretty sure that was it. There might be one more. Oh, there we go. There might be one more. Ah, yeah, it's the horseman fight. I don't know how I could forget the horseman fight. Yeah, here we go. Maybe because it took us longer, I think, to kill the prior guy than it took us to kill this guy last time. So in my head, that guy's the last boss fight. But no, this is the last boss fight. It's a horseman dude. There's horseman mechanics and stuff. This might be a learning experience for some people in the group also. Because this is it's gonna be a fun one. Yep. Here we go. Maybe this is not the fight I was thinking it was. I don't know. Alpha T, good afternoon to you and welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, there's still the horse. Yeah, I thought this was going to be the horseman fight, but this is not the horseman fight, obviously. This is what we call a tank and spank. Thought the horseman was next. This might not be the same horseman that I'm talking about, but there is a guy in here that rides a horse. It's not the horseman fight from Nax. It's just a dude that rides a horse, and so I affectionately refer to him as the horseman. Aegis of Stormwind. That's a weird thing to drop. A lot of weird drops off this guy. Sack of gems. Okay. There we go. And now we should be doing the horseman fight. I forgot the little pre-boss even existed. I don't think I won the relic. Maybe I did. I really wouldn't know if I did or not. I guess. I have a dusty bag. It looks like we figured it out. It wasn't me. It looks like we lost somebody somehow. Not really sure how we lost them, unless they stood in the green puddle. They could have stood in the green puddle. Maybe we weren't DPSing down the mind control guy. Yeah, maybe I just didn't see the mind control. Because that happened again. That might be a wiper-roni. Just missed the guy that was mind controlled. If you don't get them, they die, basically. Something tells me we don't do this without a healer. Yeah. Well, yeah, that sucked. I guess feigning death down here doesn't really help me if it doesn't get me out of the darkness. So I guess I will just stand in the fire and die. RIP. Only you can see. I didn't see, so maybe if I saw the second one that popped, but I don't think I got to them in time. I don't really know what happened with the first person that died. But when Nera Priest got mind controlled, I saw them, but I don't think I acted in time. Because even though I DPS'd them, they still died. So I just didn't see them soon enough. Yanko, good evening to you. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. Very nice. What a fun boss fight. What a great time. Yeah, this was a good one. All the fights in here are good. They just get better as the dungeon goes on. This was a great fight. I'm glad we were able to get it down. Whew. Very, very nice. It's a very, very nice run. And we're back up to 45 Undermine Reels. So 5 more of these, we can get a chess piece. Just 5 more. We did pretty good on that last fight, yeah. If we're looking at just the boss fight numbers, which are what matter. The boss fight numbers are what matter most. We actually did pretty good this run. The new axe and a lot of the new gear are really paying off. So that's been great. I feel like when I do this, I feel like what I do matters. I feel like I'm actually contributing to getting bosses down, and so this one's a lot of fun. Obviously, it's a very, very involved dungeon with some good mechanics. I feel like these mechanics are good raid training mechanics. Like, good practice for raid fights. Very, very cool. That was a lot of fun. Mitosh, thank you so much for taking the time to tank that for us. It's always a joy. Always a ton of fun to group up. I really appreciate it. Do I need to do anything back in town? Eventually, guys, I'm going to have to figure out my inventory. I think the answer is just dumping a bunch of stuff into my bank. Stuff that I may or may not need later on. And just kind of going with it that way. We also have a lot of random epics we can vendor. Unfortunately, we're going to be vendoring some epics. Did we get an orb? Yeah, we do. We did get an orb. We're going to sell the orb right away. We'll see if these are still selling for like 80 gold a pop. Yeah, the more gold we can get, the better. Let's have a look. 81. The price is like basically stable. We're gonna pop it down to 80 just so we can sell it really fast. And I don't think there's anything else that we need to sell here. I don't know what these maybe we can sell these things. No, we can't. Okay, they are not valuable. I don't think I have anything else that needs to go on the auction house right now. Everything else I have, I think I need to vendor it. We have Crypt Fiend parts. We can see how much Crypt Fiend parts are going for. Almost a gold a piece. So if I put these up for like 17 gold for all 20 of them, they should sell pretty easily. And I think that's it. Let's go vendor all of our other stuff. yeah, we're getting close to that time of day. That's true.
Looking for something specific?
Alright, let's get rid of all this stuff. Sucks to vendor epics, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. That looks a lot cleaner. I think we're good with that. We're almost at 800 gold, which is exciting. Alright, guys, I'm gonna call it right here for today. This is a good place for us to stop for the day. I don't have time to get really into anything else, and there really isn't anything else that I wanted to take care of today. So I am gonna park it here for now. I'll be back tomorrow. And I think tomorrow the goal is going to be just I want to get our chess piece for tier 2. I want to get our chess piece and one other piece. That's kind of my tentative goal for tomorrow. We almost have enough for the chess piece, so that should be no problem. I would like to try to get, like, yeah, at least 2 more pieces tomorrow. We need some epic shoulders. We need an epic cape. We need to look for those final slots to get rid of these last couple of blues. Also rings. We really, really need rings. So tier pieces, chest, shoulders, we need rings. We have a few things to do before I think we're going to be close to Nax ready. So yeah, that's tomorrow. Thank you guys for being here today and hanging out with me. Have a great rest of your afternoon or evening time. And until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you back here very soon. Bye for now.